information. It was just.
You guys hang on me?
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. When nature calls, you know.
All good. Call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council has a copy of the agenda in front of them. Looking for a motion on the floor to approve as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Council also has a copy of the minutes from last month's meeting. Motion on the floor to approve minutes from the previous meeting.
I'll make that.
I'll second. All those in favor? Council met briefly for an executive session prior to this meeting to discuss personnel matters and consult the solicitor regarding ongoing litigation. At this time, the floor is open to any citizen that would like to make any comments, remarks. Please step forward, provide your address, please. Hearing none. We'll move on to the police report.
Good evening, board residents. In April, we had 60 calls in the borough. Our guys issued 7 traffic citations, 8 warnings, and made 1 DUI alcohol arrest. And I can answer any other questions anybody else has.
I have a question. This isn't about the police report per se, but we're gonna be discussing, the one way that is possibly gonna be approved. We had a traffic study and we ordered signs. Do those signs have to be the size that the engineer required on the traffic study? And, you know, if they're not, can the law still be enforced for those traffic signs?
I believe, and this is an educated guess, I believe that as long as it's in PennDOT's document, like how PennDOT instructs you to have it erected and the size of the sign.
So, but you can't put a different size sign up.
Correct.
Uh,
I would refer to
What do you
one way?
Yeah, because I was.
One-way signs can go either way. They can go the 6-inch tall, 2 foot long, or they can go the square.
Right.
It is PennDOT required, either way, it doesn't matter.
But on the traffic study, it has specific dimensions, and that's what I ordered. I don't wanna, I
Yeah.
mean, if the law's not enforceable because that sign's not the right size.
We're adding to those signs though.
Oh, you're gonna put the
That-
ones
that-
we already have?
We're
that I ordered?
putting the whole shebang.
Okay,
We're putting those up, and then the ones that were requested, the smaller ones,
Right.
they're capped on top of the posts
okay.
to add additional notification of one way.
Law-
That was
Law enforcement requires the signs to be posted.
Perfect example is go
But
out
PennDOT
to
governs the
Pines
signs.
Road.
Okay.
There's that one way.
So we're putting up the larger signs that I ordered.
And then on top of that, the additional, we're actually going above and beyond, we're adding the signage, so the additional.
So I would imagine you guys would then obviously make like a Facebook post or something.
Yes, absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay, anything else?
And hopefully we'll be getting them up on Tuesday, or tomorrow, or Wednesday.
Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday.
That's when it'll be.
Awesome.
Well,
through a small window before ticketing anybody, because people aren't actually used to that.
I'll be honest with you, it's discretion to the officer.
And who's present at the time.
Right, and how, and if they wanna start writing citations right away, there's nothing in the law that says there's a grace period for a new, you know, we expect people that are operating motor vehicles to acknowledge road signs. But I think you guys are doing it for a great reason. I mean, to help that fire department be able to get out in emergencies when seconds and minutes matter. Especially when that road gets a lot of traffic anyway, especially when patrons are leaving the bar or the fireman's club, you know, so I think you guys are being really proactive. I think it's awesome.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Thank you, sir.
Yep, everyone enjoy the nice weather, I'm gonna get out of here.
Moving over to the fire department, and their report, we had 19 calls for the month, 83 calls for the year. We had, breakdown is, we have 1 call in the borough, 1 in the 20 box outside of the borough, 26 box, 1 call, 27, 2 calls, 13 in the 31, and 1 in the 68 box. It was brought to my attention about the house siren. So now, I had a concern from a resident about the siren blowing outside of 6 o'clock in the morning. So, I spoke to the resident and I challenged them to challenge others that would prefer to hear it throughout the night. And, I just stated to them kindly, I said, residents have to understand, the whole purpose of that siren is to give notification to clear the streets, or to let people know that apparatus are going to be responding. And if you have people out riding bikes, hey, you know, that lets them know that they need to get up on the curb. Explicitly, the siren will continue to blow from 6 in the morning until 10 at night. After that, it will not blow. That is just a simple courtesy for some folks that work second shift, odd shifts, have children. There are people that live outside of this borough that I can tell you live down valley in Yoakumtown that actually can hear that siren. I can hear the Cumberland siren from the borough at 10, 11 o'clock at night. Their siren, not ours. But what is going to change though is the hours are going to stay the same, but the frequency of the activation is going to change. It's going to go from 3 rotations to 2, and it's going to go for a shorter time. So I'm looking to meet somewhere in the middle to at least try to accommodate folks in the borough. I can tell you now that that siren is loud. It's a former KMI siren. But it actually has taken out a windshield in a vehicle already. A tractor specifically. But, that's here and there. But, I talked to a resident, and the whole purpose of the siren is to clear the streets and stuff. Originally it was the bell. And the bell, depending upon how many times the bell activated, determined where the call was. But with the siren, it's going to remain in place and remain as set as time.
So
we gotta-
it will ring if it's a fire in town.
It will ring if there's a fire in the town between the hours of 6 in the morning and 10 o'clock at night. Now, case in point, this can be taken further. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, train derailment. We have the ability to activate the siren on as needed basis to evacuate the town. And for that, the siren would blow constantly. But the whole purpose of that is, you know, for weather related, here's the other thing too, Midwest. First thing that's hit out in the Midwest is what? During a tornado. Cell towers. Sirens aren't necessarily going to be the first thing that are going to be affected per se, but cell towers are going to be the first thing to be affected. That's why they have the sirens. So, but again, it's for weather related, natural disasters and that kind of thing to be used also outside of normal fire calls. But, you know, I want to meet somewhere in a happy medium, and I think that's been met at the times. So,
How does that meet the happy medium when, if there's a huge fire in this borough and the siren ain't ringing?
I can tell you now, I will activate the siren as needed if there's a huge fire. I can assure you of that, as long as I'm the fire chief. And I think, you know, it's, and here's the other thing too, the other concern is that siren's been in place for how long?
What are they
And
gonna do when TMI starts back up? Are they gonna want their siren back?
no, that siren actually belongs to the fire department. We bought it from them for $1. But what is going to be done is, there are no more sirens for TMI. And that was after I had taken the tour of the TMI. Their plans are to push notifications. And we're gonna get into that this evening too. We're not. You know who I'm looking at. Sorry. But the plans are, we're looking at, pursuing a notification system for the residents of the borough. So that goes, and that can be used on multiple platforms. So, in different ways. There are a lot of, options out here that I'll get into later on. But, moving forward with the fire report, that's all I have. Do I have a motion to accept the police and fire report? Motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, mayor's report, sorry.
Okay. From what I understand, the trash service representative is here.
No.
He not show up.
We had to.
Had a family emergency.
Yeah.
Family emergency.
Oh, okay. Regardless, we're gonna have to get into that. They've been missing trash every single week, and I feel like every single month I've brought it up here, and I feel like nothing's been done. I need to ask council to do something about these guys. They're skipping trash cans everywhere, you know. It's a big company. A fine ain't gonna hurt them, and I'm sure it will deter them from not picking up trash, in which they've already been doing. So,
Weren't you gonna review that contract?
Yes, I have the contract, there's nothing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay, so they know what's going on. Gotcha.
There's
Was
nothing.
that down there?
Hold on, I can go ahead.
There's nothing in dispute about the provisions for failed pickups. There's tons of provisions in there. What I had asked previously is just forwarding me instances of failed pickups, and I did reach out to the office between last meeting and this meeting, but it was said that it was going to be gone over at this meeting with the representative present, who is now no longer here. So, again, there's the ability to forward me failed pickup instances, and I can always prepare a letter for.
Are we tracking that documentation somehow?
are we?
Well, we're gonna have to put a post, probably up on our website with a protocol to go through, you know, if they totally miss your trash, they can call me and I can get in touch and they'll pick it up then. And I think there's something in your contract about that.
Right, well, they'll miss a day and come back the next day, but
Or
for a
they'll
lot
come
of
back the
people,
same, they'll miss it and come back the same day. So,
right.
you
I
know,
mean, even today, I had a guy come out for a large pickup item, he took one look at it, shook his head, drove off. And it's like, well, now what, you know, I gotta take
and
a
I
big
did
bite
get-
and put it in my
I
backyard.
did get an email from, the public stating that there was such a high volume of larger item pickups that they couldn't get them all on the scheduled day, on the regular scheduled trash
He
day.
was there.
I had
Was
a-
he happy or what?
I actually have a question.
Is there a weight limit?
Well, hold on a second. Yeah, well, I have a question based on tonnage. It's, correct me if I'm wrong, Will, isn't that broken down by recycling and trash? The tonnage pickup based on, the fees?
I'm not sure that.
It would be residential and commercial.
Well, and here's the problem we're running into. If they're mixing recycling in with the actual garbage, what's the actual percentage of tonnage based on that mix? Because I can tell you right now, First Avenue, not this past pickup, but a week ago when they missed yours, they were down on First Avenue picking up both cans with the same truck.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
With the recycling and the trash?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Why do we
They
buy
had a
it?
combined, it was a combined waste system, is what I remember.
But how's that broken down in the contract?
The contract says you're allowed 2 containers for trash and 1 for, recycling, so 2 96-gallon containers and 1 recycle.
But they're going in the same truck.
Yeah, they have a combined stream trash system, from what I understand.
I remember Charlie Bridgestreet telling me,
They like
if I ever seen them putting recycling into the garbage truck or vice versa, I was supposed to contact him right away. because there's a difference in how much it costs. I think they charge more for the recycling than they do the actual trash. I'm not sure about that, but I was told by Charlie, if I ever see that, let him know right away.
Well, that's just, not only that.
They're not supposed to do that.
That's a universal, like,
Even
environmental problem.
even though 89% of the recycling goes in the landfill anyways, that's, you know, but it's still.
Where I was trying to go is, if you've got multiple people reaching out to you, we probably need to build, we need to be able to track the paper on this, so we can cite them with a bunch of different, different days and times and when they miss.
I mean,
And I just don't know, that's what I think Iden needs for ammunition to go after them, and I'm just asking how we do that.
So I can put a form on the website that will allow residents to fill that out and add it to a SharePoint or Excel spreadsheet.
Because you mostly get called.
I get and when I see the Facebook posts, I mean, pretty much on that Shelley's page, it's like, hey, I found a cat, and then the next one's trash, and then, oh, there's an ice cream truck, trash, and so we can screenshot that too.
But I think we need to track the actual individual addresses and the dates that they weren't picked up.
But doing it in the suggested manner that Matt had
Yeah.
mentioned, I think that would be the easiest to do, and give all the residents one focused focal point to do that. You go out to the Goldsboro's website, and there'll be a form that you can fill out, and then that, once you hit submit, that transfers that information over to an Excel. We're looking for customer name, address, and date, maybe date and time that it was missed.
And whether it was garbage or recycling.
Or recycling, yeah, between the two.
Now, have we reached out with at least, big scary letter saying, hey, if this happens again, we're gonna start doing that, because like it seems like it's getting worse.
Because they're taking pictures of your trash too.
Right?
I don't know if you know, I don't know if the residents knew that. Anybody that decides to go and bring their trash out after a specific time, and the truck's already been through, they're going back and actually taking pictures of the cans that weren't out there when it came through. Which is kind of ironic.
If they have enough time to do that, just pick up the damn trash.
I understand.
Actually, that is a good question. When's the next contract?
When's the next contract, because Republic and Waste Management are not the only trash haulers in this area.
You know that the latest bid that we had.
So I wanted to bring that up.
Sidebars, go ahead.
So I wanted to bring that up too. I understand us wanting to send them something and fine them and all these things, but if you recall, when we put out for trash before, they were the only trash company that responded to our bid, because Waste Management does not want to deal with our borough anymore. Because of this problem, because of the level of complaints, is what my understanding.
Well, if they're not doing their job,
I
Waste
understand.
Management does commercial too.
if they're not doing the job, they're gonna get complaints.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, I don't think the borough wants to be in a situation where we don't have any bids for trash service at all, is all I'm saying.
But there's
Because
gotta be a give and take
I
there
know,
too.
I'm 100% agree, I understand that there's an issue with it, but I think we wanna be careful before we start throwing around, there's a lot of other trash haulers, because the last bid, there was none, except for Republic. So,
So do we know if it's missed, or is it put out late? That's a big difference.
And,
I think a lot of
and
it
that,
is
you got, and then you roll into the other thing, you got people that are working second and third shifts that come home, forget to put their trash out, or have already missed putting their trash out, unless they're putting it out the day before, at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, to sit out front.
The amount of times that I've gotten calls, and usually it's along the same street. I don't really think, I mean, sure, there's probably a couple that are like putting it out at noon and being like, oh, what the hell? But like, yeah, they're missing. I have no reason to believe that they're not.
Well, I think one of the things that, we definitely want to be careful of is if there's no communication that they're just behind a day, all of a sudden we're going to get a bunch of complaints, and then the next day they're getting picked up and they're sitting there saying, why the complaints? I think that having that communication from Republic getting to the people is important. Because I can't speak for anybody else, but my level of frustration with the Republic, and I get missed at least once a month, would be far lower if I was told, hey, we're gonna miss you on Thursday, we're gonna grab you on Friday. Okay, that's fine, get my stuff on Friday, it's fine. You know, I don't think most people in this town is gonna be seriously upset if their trash is a day behind versus getting missed a week. That's a completely different conversation.
So the most recent one, I think, was due to call loss. Like, they're supposed to show up in an hour and they call in and say, dude, I ain't coming to work. I understand how they immediately, I guess, went to Joyce and said, we're gonna be a day late, if I'm not wrong.
There was a notice put out by Republic, if you're on their text notification that, they texted us at 7:30 in the morning.
Eight, 7:30.
They called me.
They texted.
They called my house. Well, twice.
How early?
They
5 a.m.
They called me.
I thought somebody died in the family.
Right.
It'd be good for us to know how to get on that list then.
Yeah.
Because
Well, that's on the Republic site. You just go to the Republic.
Well, here's my suggestion. Matt, if you would, coordinate getting a form put out on the website for the residents, and then also maybe a quick link for Republic that'll direct them over to notification system on their end.
Yeah.
If way that can be done. We good with that? Residents, you're good?
Yeah, just a comment sort of ties into that, is I call two of my neighbors who don't check phones or anything.
Right.
So they knew, well, if we do this texting thing, which I know we talked about, that again would maybe help eliminate some of this, because
Absolutely.
there'll be more of a notification.
Absolutely. And for anybody that uses, just by some chance, not a smartphone or any other phone, then texting should go through all phones, as long as it's an active number.
You had something?
Yeah. It seems like we've only started having trash issues since we moved to the Thursday pickup day. So what my question is, are they missing, when people call in to you, Joyce, saying they miss my trash, is it like a section of a street, or is it hit and miss here and there?
Sometimes it's hit or miss. Last
Okay.
week, I think it was a whole street, like Clover, and
Okay.
there was random spots on South York Street. So it depends.
Okay.
Usually it's sporadic.
And do we know, is it the same driver for the Thursday route as it used to be for the Monday
So
route?
I do in fact have I've spoken to the driver, and the one driver I did speak to, he said, I'm brand new, I've never been in this town,
Okay.
I'm from New Jersey.
So I think a good resolution would be for kind of, I mean, I'm sure it could be done in the borough, but for up in Shelley's, I know many moons ago, Mr. Official had asked my husband and another resident up there to go around and spray the curbs for the weeds. And I had did a diagram of how they could go around Shelley's without even stopping and going both sides of the street. That's what I'm trying to get at, I'm sorry. So is there a way that maybe we could do a diagram or something for this driver and see if it works?
Like a line of travel? I mean, I would assume that they have something set up for that.
Okay.
With their drivers, and that's, a lot of these questions need to be addressed by the person from Republic.
That's why I asked, can we reschedule and have?
Yes,
it
I am
next
going to
meeting?
schedule
Yeah,
with them.
that's what we do.
So,
What is this just gonna get kicked down? We can't gonna get kicked another month, you know?
And then I would
We
think the
can't-
people that aren't getting their trash out early enough or in time, I guess the question would be is there a reason why you don't like putting it out the night before?
well, we did put a notice up on the website
Yeah.
to, hey, it might be a good idea to. do
Because
that.
I know up in Shelley's, I've seen a couple comments where they're like, oh, I didn't get my trash out in time. Well, if they come by at 6 and you're leaving for work at 7 and you're only putting your trash out at 6:55, no offense to me, that's your fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, another question for me would be is why, it can't kinda like be stressed to put your trash out the night before.
I will address that one. Okay, you put the trash out the night before. How many people drove through the borough and saw all the recycling or trash debris left laying all over the road because of the high winds? Now, I'm not saying that happens frequently. If we're gonna do that, then my suggestion is to bungee strap down, or add a little bit of weight to the top of the lid to prevent any of that stuff blowing out. I've seen cans tip, I've seen trash down the road, and I'm out picking it up. Heck, I've seen it up here in the borough property, up here. by the-
Well, if people would bag correctly, you wouldn't see trash on the road.
Correct, but I'm just saying, you know, if you're gonna do that, then my suggestion would be to add weight or bungee strap the lid down.
Yeah.
But- All right, so, go ahead.
I'd like to say something, please.
Sure.
We can't, Joyce, you had said you assume that the drivers have a map of all our roads and how to pick it up.
Yes.
Maybe,
That would be a
maybe we could
logical.
make a map for them.
We-
And that
we
way we're
could
not
just send
assuming
it
they
as
have
a
it.
suggestion,
But-
but.
Or reach out to Republic and say, hey, does your driver have a map of all the streets? And if they say no, maybe we would be able to provide them with a map. I don't know, I know it's a little extra work for you, but you know what I'm saying?
Let's ask this guy.
Let's wait, I'm gonna make a motion that we table this for right now. We're gonna reconvene the discussion with Republic when we actually have a representative present, make it easier. In the interim, Matt, you can still follow through with the Smith form and the contact for notification.
Right. And
Okay.
I don't understand what this is.
Because if we can get an email address from them, I can have it, I said, we can get an email address from Republic, I can have it send them an email as well, telling them,
Yeah.
hey, this person is missed,
Yeah.
you know, all in the same.
Well, we're gonna dive a lot further into WordPress. So, I'm very familiar with Berlin too, so, to a certain extent. Now I'm dangerous after reading on the notification. Okay, moving on.
Next one, property pride. I've been getting a lot of calls about, people's properties, some are gross, some are gross. So, now that everybody's thawing out, I know that it's gonna be a little bit more, common for that to happen. I did send out a few letters, just saying clean up some stuff. Wanted to let everybody know that that's what I'm doing. And then the third thing here, commercial vehicle parking. I'm noticing not a lot, but a couple commercial trailers, in particularly up in Shelley's, that are just kind of parked along the road. I wanted to bring that up to council. I'm not sure if there's an ordinance. I did not get through your extra large book that you gave me with all of them, but I was wondering if that is in there, that you can't park your
I believe there is.
I hope so.
I believe there is, because where I live on South York Street, trailers are not allowed to park out there for more than 24 hours.
Yeah, and I understand the 24-hour thing, but
Yeah.
these trailers are just sitting.
Right, and if somebody makes a habit of parking a trailer, like on consecutive nights, even if the trailer is gone during the day, the way the official explained it to me is that they can absolutely be fined for it. The way the borough ordinance was explained to me. Now, this was back in 2009, I think, when he told me this. But he was very adamant about if somebody has a trailer and it's gonna be parked more than one consecutive night, it has to be off the street into a private area or into, let's say, like the parking lot that is off of Water Street by the pizza shop would be acceptable. Or there are other side areas that may be acceptable, but not on any of the main streets.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have a box.
That's the way it was explained to me.
But,
So,
I mean, I have a hell of a time putting a box truck in my driveway, but I do it just because I believe it's right.
Ordinance 2-69 is the first occurrence.
Okay.
On parking of any trailers, with the exception of boats. Also, campers cannot be parked over, I believe, a 24-hour period, if I'm correct.
So just any large trailers, or, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna, there's no specification on the size of trailer, it just states trailers.
Right. I'll send letters, you know, it's,
So depending on where the trailer is parked, if it's in a driveway or on a borough street or another street, and the potential if you're pursuing a zoning violation in whatever district will guide what enforcement action that you can take. So you're gonna wanna know where it's located, whether you're proceeding under borough ordinance or if you're proceeding under a zoning ordinance violation. Once you decide based off whatever relevant facts that you're enforcing.
I mean, really what I've seen is you just talk to the person who they typically will figure it out. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I just needed to know if there was something. But, that's it for me. Sorry for taking
I have
so
a
much
question,
time.
if I may, please. Have you seen the property down there on Butcher Avenue, on the corner, I don't know what the other cross street is, down catty corner from the post office?
Butcher and Second Avenue.
Yeah,
I do.
second, did you see that property with bags of trash and lawnmowers and stacked up and just garbage all the way around?
So I did actually have a talk with him the other day. I believe either somebody called you or somebody called you, or maybe.
I
called you
said
both.
something to Doug. I said something to Doug about it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I talked to him. He actually, bought an extra trash can, I guess, to set down there and start cleaning stuff up. But
He's gonna need a dumpster.
right, and you know, I told him it's gonna need a little bit more than that. He, you know, told me he's gonna get it done.
Okay.
And I told him,
I
I got a month, and then I'm sending a letter. And
All
that's
right.
pretty much what
Thank you.
he got me robotic, I guess, in the position that I'm in, where, hey, you have a month, if you don't get it cleaned up in a month, then you get a letter that says, you got 10 days, and
Right.
then you just get a fine, and.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I told him. He invited me out for the pool, but
What?
I guess he plays pool in that garage or something.
Oh, that's nice.
That's quick.
It was really nice. Yeah.
That's
Motion on the floor to accept the mayor's report.
I make a motion.
Motion, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to manager's report. Joyce.
Okay, I'm gonna make this, pretty brief because there's a lot to go over, on this agenda. I wanna thank Mrs. Bauer for planting the plant boxes
Yes,
in
thank
the
you.
square and up here at the office. I did wanna let everybody know, particularly if you live in Shelley's, well 3, the pump was replaced, which was a pretty significant job. It basically, it was getting old according to the past, so it was going on 8 years old. And it was running too long, and Jeff Helwig and I decided that that needed done. So you have a pretty new pump in well 1 and a brand new pump in well 3 for Shelley's. So you have water.
Perfect.
Okay. Just a quick, what I'm gonna be working on in the next month or so, potholes. I know everybody loves potholes. I think I'm gonna start up in Shelley's, investigating the potholes. There's some sinkholes around the drainage, you know, the sewer.
I think that work was approved a while ago to get like a contractor in.
Well, yeah, we have to go, I mean, we wanna wait till the weather was totally stable.
Sure.
So I just want everybody to know we're gonna get started. Also, mulching the parks is gonna be a priority in this month, but we're gonna wait towards the end of the month, so if rain, we get flooded, we don't want all stuff to wash out. Then possibly we'll move on to the bathroom down in the park. Also, I'm getting prices for upstairs, for the upstairs bathrooms, new AC and heating unit for the office side of the building. I'll be working on that.
Good?
I'm good?
You say you're putting a new park in, up in Shelley's?
No, mulching the park. Mulching.
Tambar.
Yeah. Give it a little.
Yeah, we have to.
What about that ugly looking green old water tower?
That's
I'm gonna mention that every single month until
that's
something's done about
another
that.
issue that we have to have that removed, but.
That's been 25 years, 30 years not used, and it's been said for 5 years that they would get rid of that, and it's still there.
Yes,
That
I
area
am
there would make
aware
a
of
nice
that.
park for the kids up there.
Yeah.
What's that made of? Stainless steel. Is it all steel?
You might want to scrap
It's
it.
like half inch plate.
They're sitting up there. So I couldn't find anyone who wanted it.
I'm looking at cost.
It would have to be.
It's very,
Well, what's
there
the
was one
trade-off?
estimate.
Yeah,
for it.
what's the trade-off, cost or recycle? You know, can we like balance the two out? Or even worse, donate it. Anybody wants it for free,
Come get it.
you gotta come and get it.
And then they
I
got.
was told
the
it was a significant amount to tear, because you gotta cut it apart
Yeah.
to get it out of there.
Yeah, torch it out, yeah. Alright. Make a motion to, I need a motion for, to accept the manager's report.
Motion.
All those, second, all those in favor? Alright. Council, has a copy of the ELH&T report as well as the water, report. Do I have a motion to accept both reports?
I'll make that motion. Second.
All those in favor? Engineers report, do we have anything on that? Other than, what was provided for the traffic study? We're good. Alright, motion to accept the engineers report.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Alright, and
Alright, so this is a follow-up to, the matter that was discussed at last month's meeting regarding COVID money compliance. I've been in contact with the office staff to give me some of the documentation required, with the treasury on how to report expenditures of that money. They just provided me with some of the last materials requested in advance of this meeting, so I'll review that and get a more complete recommendation. But from what I've been reviewing to date, there's essentially two operative deadlines here that are important to consider. One is the obligation deadline, which was the end of 2024, and the other is the money spent deadline, which is the end of this year. The obligation deadline has obviously passed. The borough did submit its reporting to the treasury actually well in advance of the obligation deadline. It was around 2022 when it submitted how it would be using the money. It did elect for the revenue loss election, which allows more discretion on how to spend funds, but there is some confusion with how the report was filled out on selecting expenditure categories. That's why I wanted to follow up with the more periodic reports that are submitted on how the money is spent. So once I review those, I'll have a more complete answer, but for the time being, I do not see any immediate issue pending review of those more periodic submissions. Essentially, with the election of revenue loss, what we advise a number of other clients, not necessarily Goldsboro, because we were not here in that time, you could elect for that money to be spent on things that were more concretely approved from the treasury, like applied to wages. And then with that money being documented to the treasury, you would then having the added flexibility to carry over money that would otherwise be appropriated or designated for wages in your budget to projects at your discretion rather than incurring tight compliance deadlines for reporting that those funds were obligated. So that was the point of the obligation deadline. There's no ability to enter into a contract now beyond the obligation deadline and then apply those monies to that contract. So that's the update there. No. All right. Motion to accept solicitor's report.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Committee reports, building and grounds. For that.
We'll be coming up with that later.
All right. Emergency management.
No report.
Finance. Anything for planning? Rec and parks.
Like I stated before, I am stepping down from rec committee. I don't have time to do it, not with my dad's declining health, so I don't wanna take anything away from you guys, so I am handing it over to Stacy. Okay?
Sanitation and sewer. All right, we'll have the borough manager reach out to Republic and reschedule for next month's meeting. All right. Streets and highways.
I'll say that after we approve the new business tonight, we'll start working, getting the signs
utility and water company?
No.
Yep. Zoning? Motion to approve the, committee reports.
I'll make that. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to unfinished business. Motion to approve the selection of SMS resident notification system to enhance communication within the borough. At this time, all right. So I've done some research on this and to share with Matt. And I got some information from Brian, that works for Soho. There are a couple of options, the module snap-ins for WordPress, and the mass texting. One of the programs that I'm looking at right now is specifically, and now this is gonna cost us $59 a year.
That's the snap-in, right?
Yeah, the snap-in for, and it'll give you dashboard capability. It's $59 a year, but it uses the Twilio.
Yeah, you can pick a number of gateways.
Yeah, different gateways to utilize, but Twilio, from what I've seen, it's 83 cents, I think it is, or something like that.
Yeah, so it's 0.083 cents for each SMN message.
But with that, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, I apologize. But with that, it's mass push, so it's 83 cents from my understanding for every push. It doesn't go for every.
No, it's every contact.
I was under the impression that is one push based on the snap-in for WordPress.
No, I reached out to Twilio. We used again the 380 messages for contacts. It was $3.15, which is the 0.0083 times the 380. They also have a monthly fee of $11.15 on top of that. So, like a monthly charge would be $14.30.
So 14 plus the 59.
Well, yeah, on a yearly basis, that comes up to $492 a month. So yes, you're looking at 15 and some change, I guess.
1,500
No, $15 and some change
a month. So 15 plus the 59 yearly, so.
No, that's with the 59.
Oh, that's with the 59.
Right.
So that's actually probably the better choice to move with.
Right. Now, the one thing that those fees don't include are the carrier surcharges, which is based on the recipient's
Carrier, yes.
and that
Yeah,
goes
there's a
anywhere
surcharge.
from like 0.0035 cents to 0.0050 cents. So it's fractions of a penny on that.
But that's still cheaper. I can tell you now, that's cheaper than text.gov, that's cheaper than
Cheaper than a lot of it.
Saturday Citizen, that's cheaper than, because I sat through 3 demos. One with Envoy, one with Saturday, and one with text.gov. And going this route, I think, would be the best
Right.
direction.
I gave Iden the terms of service for Twilio and the snap-in provider.
I will, thank you for providing that. I got them on Friday, I haven't been able to review them yet, but yes.
My suggestion, we further pursue that as the avenue to go. Because it's also dashboard friendly.
Right, I would ask that we approve it, pending Iden's review.
Yeah.
And we can go with Twilio and the snap-in.
I'll make that motion.
So we'll table it?
No, we're actually gonna, pending items review, it's actually the lowest, it's the most effective and most reasonably priced out there for us to be able to do. It'll give us the ability to send these messages out while saving, from what I saw, the one was, it was text.gov was 4,000 to 6,000 a year compared to what we're paying here, which
Yeah, that said, you can get away with probably like $20 a month, like
Yeah, and if I'm correct, we can, modify the website for an opt-in program where the residents would be able to go out and opt into it too.
We'll be able to use that for the opt-in and everything.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the one?
So the motion would be, sorry to interrupt you, the motion would be to approve subject to my review of the terms of service. So as long as I'm okay with that, then we move forward. It saves some time, as long as there's no issues.
That's the motion I have on the floor.
So how does the system notify the residents?
Sends out a text message.
You'll get a text message.
Through text?
Yeah.
Okay, and that would just like be for emergencies or something?
No, it would be, like, if the trash wasn't coming, we'd be able to use that and say,
Oh, okay, instead of Facebook.
Correct, it'll be multiple notifications. There's multiple uses for this, but there's something else too with this, getting into the newsletter. Did you dig into that one?
no, I didn't go into the newsletter.
The newsletter, it'll actually push out a newsletter, like a newspaper, where it'll take you out and you can actually review the newsletter for Goldsboro Borough. But that's down the road, let's focus on this first, but there's a lot of capability with this, and I think this could be very beneficial to us. But, motion on the floor, I heard a second, to approve pending items of review. Go ahead.
One more point for full transparency, there are sign-up fees of like, it's, I think,
Initial, right?
initial, yeah, it's
Yes.
46, it's like, $80 roughly, to go through the vetting, because we have to register, so they don't treat our messages as spam.
Correct.
So there is that fee. That's a one-time fee, so.
Yeah. I'm gonna continue with that motion.
And the borough pays for that?
I heard a second. All those in favor? Aye. Nay? Bill?
No, I said aye.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, well then,
So what was the name of that?
it's a snap-in. WordPress is a website, or it's a app or software that's used to build websites. WordPress, correct me if I'm wrong and stop me if you need to. And with that, you have snap-ins, and it's like Legos.
Yeah.
I refer to it as Legos. Each Lego is a different app or module that can snap into that program. And it gives you a capability of doing a specific function. Having this connected with our website and overlooked by Soho and personnel using, it'll give us the ability to push out these notifications. And we're saving money too, huge now. Well, I can't say huge, but significant. Compared to 4,000 to 6,000, because I think the one was 6,000 initially, and then it was 4,000 a year to continue to run with that. But I was like, no. So moving forward with this, this will definitely benefit the borough, I think. And again, we can push notifications for trash, an issue with mail, emergencies, if we have to. All right. So that. All right. Motion to approve the Lawn Barber Lawn Care Company for 2026 lawn care season. Staff and management recommended this appointment due to the long-standing relationship with Goldsboro Borough and the quality workmanship.
I'll make that motion.
Is this the lowest bid?
So to that point, I don't know if it's the lowest bid, but in discussing this further with Joyce, even aside from whether or not this qualifies as maintenance work that would otherwise not be subject to public bidding, you're well under the threshold of the 24,000 and change that you need to trigger public bidding requirements. So as long as bids came in and were responsive to the advertisement that went out, you all have some latitude or discretion to award it to who you think is appropriate.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes, carried. All right. So motion to approve Clackett and Associates PCA to complete the 2025 municipal annual audit. Want to make transparent to residents, we appointed them as the auditor. Now we're approving the agreement for them to move forward with the audit. I have a motion on the
I'll
floor.
make that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Bathroom discussion. Anything other than what was mentioned earlier?
No, I still haven't gotten any bids yet, so, Dolan's gonna do the rough plumbing for the upstairs bathroom, but I haven't gotten
I'll reach out to you about this afterward.
it. Okay.
Okay.
No, is this the bathroom? Oh, it's good, I've got, okay. We got a lot of bathroom.
You love bathroom.
Alright, motion to enact ordinance 26-1, proposed one-way street, First Avenue from Pennsylvania to West Broadway.
Make a motion.
Let me just make sure that it was advertised correct.
Yes, it's advertised.
So there's a motion on the floor.
Second.
All those in favor? Ayes, carried. Alright, just make sure that you're aware, First Avenue being the road that travels behind here, and Pennsylvania Avenue, which is up here by Ms. Harriet's property. From that, First Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue, south, is going to be considered one way. There will be no more being able to come in off of West Broadway. I think it's
East Broadway.
East Broadway, my apologies, East Broadway. And that actually is a lot safer too. So, all right. Under new business, resolution 2026-8, authorizing Goldsboro Borough to install and utilize members' first cash management platform to perform deposits up to $100,000 a month. Motion on the floor.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're gonna come back to 3. We're gonna go to motion to approve Soho Network Solutions IT Management Agreement
I'll make that,
2026.
I'll make that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, first item of discussion, management, security and key management. Council should have a copy of a rough draft of the Goldsboro Borough Building Security and Key Policy. Basically, Joyce, if you want to brief on this?
Well, it's pretty simple. I did have the locks rekeyed or replaced. You know, the people that use the building, it's basically a 3-way system. There's permanent key holders, temporary, and let's say part-time key holders. Everyone's gonna sign for the key. If you need access to just the entrances, like if you're in the ladies auxiliary, you're gonna be issued an entrance key, which will be signed for. And you'll keep that key because you're coming in here on a pretty consistent basis. The long-term key holders would be the office administrators, you know, the administrative assistants, myself. We'll have office keys and we'll have entrance keys. And I mean, we'll always have those. Part-time key holders, if you need to use the building, say for a rec meeting, you can come up to the office, give me a call, I'll sign you out a key. Once your meeting's over, you're gonna return that key so you can keep track of these keys. None of the keys are to be duplicated, the keys are numbered, so they're easier to keep track of. And that's, you know, it's not rocket science, but.
So you have public key holders defined as individuals needing intermediate access to perform their duties via the borough's public areas, so like the EMA, ladies auxiliary, and cleaning staff. They also have entrance keys.
Right, so the cleaning staff and, you know, EMA coordinator is gonna have a key so they can access the room, in the building. And they'll always have those keys, so they can access the building.
Are council members supposed to be on that list for the public area?
Well, like I said, if you're having your committee meeting and you need in the building, you just come grab a key, sign out for it, put it in the Dropbox when you're finished with the meeting.
I'd like to have something added in there that after hours or emergency purposes, point of contact. I don't know if that's on there or not.
I can make one, I do already have a plan in mind, so.
Plan? A
A
plan?
plan for emergency contacts?
Yeah, I'm looking for that to be written into this.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And the keys that have been made, they're numbered. Can you also add for what locations they are for?
Can you repeat that?
Like,
Locations therefore, they're all.
North York Street
except for the
front
office,
door, you know, the side
Yes,
door.
everything's key, and the shed, the only separate keys are the shed keys, which have remained the same. I did not have the locks in the shed that changed, so everybody that has a shed key, and needs a shed key.
So you know which number key goes to which door?
I don't
All
think
the
they're numbered.
entrance keys with E on them work this back entrance and the side entrance.
Okay.
And it will work this, but the door knob that I have put in here, you can't lock it from the inside.
Yeah.
So you can always get out in case of emergency, right?
Is this something item that we need to make a motion on or approve, or is this something that staff can just put in place?
It's a policy, I think you want,
I was looking for a resolution to be put into place. I think that would be better because it's operational purposes.
So this gets a resolution number on it and gets,
I think you should get the finalized draft with respect to the edits that you want incorporated, and then you can have a resolution attached in the final draft for approval.
That way it covers all bases. And not just, because if you review, the policies, it's suggested to be submitted as a resolution. Incorrect. For operational purposes.
I think it's good to adopt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, so this will be a resolution for next month's meeting, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I think once you get the final draft, you can attach it to a resolution, I wouldn't.
You don't have to write it up as that specific. You know, draft it as a resolution. Right?
What I'm saying is to wait on final action until you get the final draft.
Correct. So for the time being, that'll be tabled to until the final draft is written, at which point then it'll be put in as a resolution. Alright, ELHMP, 0.02 kilowatt hour increase on the pole to be revisited next May of 2027. Okay?
Who can speak to this?
I just wanna mention this, just from my research, I think this was visited last year, that we were gonna discuss a 2 cent per year increase for the electric. I looked at the electric and what we were earning, and we are earning, so I think it could be tabled till next year around the same time to be rediscussed.
Okay,
So
because,
I'm not recommending that we need a 2 cent increase right now.
okay, but didn't AMP give us some specific amounts that our electric was gonna increase based on like that additional capacitance and things like that?
I'll have to check on that.
Okay.
But from the yearly reports, I didn't, it looked good. We can revisit that next meeting.
Yeah, I thought there
Or
was
as needed,
very
too.
specific. I
As
thought there was
needed, yeah.
very specific
But
contract.
I think previous council, instead of hitting with the residents hard with a big increase, wanted to do small increments. So, it can be revisited at any time. I know last year it was done around this time, so.
Well, I
Can
thought,
we get a copy of, the AMP's, last month's AMP's bill for what the borough pays per kilowatt for the next meeting?
Yeah.
well, I thought they gave us the whole 6 cents, and we tabled, or we only raised it 2 cents.
2 cents.
At the time, but I thought
Yeah.
they gave us the whole 6 at that time.
Well, that's my concern, is that there's increases that are scheduled to be coming.
Well, I think it was already,
It was up front.
it was already up front, yeah.
Okay.
That was my understanding.
As long as we're in line and we don't get behind on that.
Alright. Discussion to promote diversity and inclusion among council members, monthly rotation of council members to review bills need to be encouraged. Okay, speak on that, or do you want me to?
It's just my idea, the same people, you know, I know we have people that need to sign the checks, but I think for experience sake, that everybody on the council should have an opportunity to go in the office, review the bills, look at the checks, just to see how it works. If that's something that you would wanna do. I just think it's good to, so the whole council is included. I think the whole council needs to be included, and not just, you know.
Okay, I can
We've
help
done
you out.
that before.
I can help you out with that. Do me a favor,
Okay,
put together a list of all the council members based on month.
okay,
And we'll just do it that way,
just rotate.
Based on what?
on month. So like next month, Peter might be one,
Right.
July, you'll be one.
We have done that in the past, excuse me. We have done that in the past. But what I ran into is these bills, they're all in this one big pile. And you have to go, well, here's a check, where's this? Oh, that should be at the bottom of the bag. Oh, so you got, they should be in order.
Bill,
What's so funny?
no. Here's the thing. I'll address this with you. That has been taken care of. Based on how the bills will be presented are as in fashion.
Right.
Check associated with the bill in order. Very clear, concise, and cut. And that's the way it's been since I've looked over it. And obviously, you'll have that sheet set aside where you'll.
Right.
So, if you could put a list together and then send out kindly to all the council members based on month. Yeah, 1 month. Yeah, we're good. All right. Resolution to establish a policy prohibiting the consumption of alcohol by any person directing or managing a borough-sponsored event.
Do we really need that?
Unless we got Stone Cold Steve Austin doing it.
No, it comes down to a liability issue for the borough, is what it comes down to. So there should be a place that somebody.
How does it become a liability if I'm at the park drinking a beer because we're having a function and you're drinking a beer with me as the committee lead, I'm causing a liability as attending it. I don't think it matters.
No, the idea is for the coordinator to be the responsible one to watch over the people. This is not restricting anybody using the facilities, park, events, whatever, from consuming alcohol.
Do you know there's an actual?
Have we had a problem? Has there been a problem?
There had to have, one of them just get brought up.
That's why I'm asking.
Here's my concern. There's been okay, real quick. There's been concerns in regards to alcohol being consumed at events, and I'll take it a step further. How many of you are aware there's actually an ordinance in place set for permits for the use of alcohol on borough property? I'll even go further. Does anybody even know how much it is? Because I do. It's $50.
To get a permit to drink.
Absolutely.
There's a sign
Yeah.
down there that says no alcohol beverages.
And there is an ordinance, and I already know that. So we're now, with all things being fair, nobody knew about that because it was never enforced.
Isn't it on the actual, like?
There's actually a
form that
sign.
you- Yeah, on the sheet that when you rent out the pavilion and
Yep.
stuff, there's something on there that says $50 if you want alcohol use.
That's check.
They use
that-
that.
I'm just wondering what happened that caused that to end up on our agenda, that somebody who is leading an event can't consume alcohol.
Moving forward, we are looking to put proper protocols in place to protect the borough.
Oh, okay.
We are working
So
on a lot of things.
if I rent the place out and I pay the $50 to have alcohol, you're telling me I can't drink?
No, you're a private individial. You
Okay,
are not
so I'm a
affiliated with
committee
the borough.
member and I have a fundraiser event to raise money for something, disc golf, and I can't drink at my own event.
Say
That I'm
that
having,
again.
I have a committee, I'm raising money for something. And I can't, and I pay the $50, but as a committee person, I can't.
I'm
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
if
no,
there
you're
hasn't-
fine, you're fine. Here's the thing. I'm gonna take it a step further, and I'm gonna slowly read the heading for this resolution. A resolution of the Borough of Goldsboro establishing a policy prohibiting the consumption of alcohol by any person directing or managing a borough, I'm gonna reiterate, a borough-sponsored event. Not a private event, but a borough-sponsored event. Big difference.
So this is a shot at somebody on council.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly what
That's
it is.
exactly-
That's, thank you, Bill,
That's
because that's
exactly
exactly what I'm getting at, is that's wrong. That's right here, and the little pissy match that Bill and Sam are having up there while we're all sitting here is what we don't like having happen. That should not be happening. If there hasn't been a problem, don't do a resolution for it. You're just taking shots at people, and y'all gotta stop.
Where does it fall under the insurance?
It's always covered under our liability insurance if there's alcohol at the actual event. I make sure of that.
So whenever you say all in favor, y'all have to just say nay,
Well, it's not a vote.
right? Yay or nay?
Not a vote.
Majority wins.
It's just an open discussion.
I mean, I feel that if, should be all adults, control yourself. If you see, quote, somebody who's on that committee and you think that they're starting to get lust, if that's the word back in the day, then another committee member should just go up and say, I think you need to chill out, I think you had too many, let's, cool it for a bit or for the rest of the night or whatever, but she's right, it's kind of just like lashing out. If you're at a borough event, depending on what the event is and what it's for, people want to enjoy themselves.
Public intoxication, we don't give a crap about the drinkers.
So you've been sober for how long though? Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll just at least speak on my part, because I imagine that's gonna be the call to me to go down and, like I said, poop on the party.
Right.
Please don't do that. Just,
You can never be the party pooper, you're the candy guy with the big beans, like, you can never.
bring the beans,
you
but
can
I'm
never
gonna say
be
stop
something.
drinking, that's gonna suck.
Well, let's look at it this way, the borough's holding the event down there.
Sure.
Everybody's drinking, nobody's paying attention, kid falls in the creek and drowns. Then,
Okay. But that's
you
an
have to look
extreme.
at it from that way, you have to look at it as expected to play with the borough, as far as it is.
How many years has this gone on that no kid is drowning? Also, the creek is like 2 inches
But it
deep.
doesn't mean it can't happen, what's the problem with somebody being responsible?
Everyone's responsible, that's the thing. When have you ever seen it not be held responsible? I would like an example.
That's all I was asking, is where did it come from? Like, where did
Now,
this
it
go
happened.
wrong? Where did
It
this
has
get drunk and somebody hurt?
If we're gonna do alcohol, then we need to do recreational marijuana that people have licenses for and everything else too, so.
Well, I can go back and revisit this. Okay, so then a review of the signage down at the park needs to be looked at then, if that's the case.
It says no alcohol down.
Well, then I'm missing something.
I don't think it does, Will.
Oh, I thought it did.
I thought it
Down there
did.
for
We have,
movie
we
night
have,
last, movie night last, 2 years ago when I was down there, there was a sign that saying no alcohol in the park.
And as far as anybody asking questions, I can tell you this now, I have kept my mouth shut prior to me actually taking this position on council. But it was shared with me on an event from last year, the chili cook-off.
we had
Concerning
a chili cook-off, we had a soup competition.
super chili, maybe it was 2 years ago. But either way, it was just shared. Secondly, I'm not the one that specifically introduced this resolution. I wanna make sure that's clear to you.
We know who it was.
So you point that.
From, I'm sure.
Okay.
Really? Prove
Who
it.
else?
Prove it.
Who else would it be?
Prove it.
Okay,
Let's
so
take,
But
let's
moving
take.
forward.
I'm just saying.
Hey, moving forward, Joyce, could you kindly go and verify the signage down at the park, please? If it states no alcohol present on borough property, then that needs to be made noted, please.
No, there won't be none.
That, yeah.
If it does say that if they apply for the permit and get it,
Without a permit.
without a permit.
Then
Revisit the sign.
revisit the sign and the rewording, or the rewording of the sign.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah, so I would just add if the
I think we have
concern,
an open container policy here in Goldsboro, just like New Cumberland, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure about that.
I would just-
No, and in fact, I will double down on that. Can you take alcohol out of the club next door? Can you take
Well,
out,
that's a private club.
I understand.
That's against our liquor
Well,
license, that is completely different.
can you take alcohol out of the pizza shop?
They don't sell it there, so.
Beer?
They
No,
don't
they
sell
don't
it.
sell it.
They do not sell it.
Okay, but it's still open policy.
I've never
But
seen.
you can walk around the
Yeah.
streets of Goldsboro with an open container.
just to provide a structured,
Structure.
just to provide a structured final point on this, if the concern is liability with respect to alcohol, it does not necessarily extend to a borough council member or not. Maybe the correct response would be looking at the form to make sure it's properly captured from insurance provided and the ability to revoke a permit. And maybe that will be the correct avenue to solve anything here rather than adoption of a policy, which would not otherwise bind public or private individuals.
Okay, then I'm gonna take it a step further. Eileen, when you have the opportunity, could you review the said resolution for possible rewording and appropriate wording as such to cover, the borough? Certainly, when it comes to, and pertains to insurance purposes. And then Joyce, tag on that, then still the sign, please. And then if you could, correspond with Ivan and, properly rewording as needed or additional wording with permit.
Also, not to use your words, but can I take it a step further?
Sure.
And, could we actually look at that open container law? Because if I'm watching somebody literally just stumble down the street with a liquor bottle.
You can get in trouble for a drunken driver.
No, right, okay, well then how about
Yeah.
open
There's
container
no law
then?
against an open container in Goldsboro.
I got cracked down on them, but I wanna know what to say, you know?
It would probably go towards public intoxication and state crime.
Right.
So you always have that to fall back on.
Okay.
So if it's not open container, then it would be
Yeah, somebody
public
passed
property.
it, it's all like, you know, you're listening.
But also,
Yeah, it's not up to you.
last year we had made someone noted that the applications for the events, possibly needed to be revisited.
Correct.
Revised. I don't know if that was ever done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
I provided a draft, but I don't know that it ever got approved.
So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure the new ones are out.
I think if the new one's out, then we need to revisit that, because if it's not in the minutes of being approved as published for the public use, then we need to revisit that.
When was that?
It was brought up last year, but it's never got.
Quite some time ago.
The other thing too we could revisit is the fees. Because I don't think that's on the fees,
It is on these.
is it on the fee?
I think we upped the, non-residential fee
Last year, yeah.
last year.
Okay. So, and then revisit that. We can have that added, as unfinished for next month's meeting. And review prior. Joyce, if you could please, and I know this is a little, I keep putting more on your plate. Well, it should be out on the website too, I think.
With the permit?
Yeah,
Yeah, the permit's available.
Yeah,
So
I think it's
if
the
you
old
could-
version of that.
or just, I'll take a look, yeah, just a couple bases. All right. Treasurer's report, council has a copy, do I have a motion on the floor to accept the treasurer's report? Oh, my apologies, I had it checked off, I apologize. Okay, resolution formally creating standing advisory committees of borough council. So this resolution is to officially, create, the said standing committees as such. Buildings and Grounds Committee, Emergency Management Committee, Finance Committee, Planning Committee, Sanitation and Sewer Committee, Streets and Highways Committee, Electric Utility and Water Company Committee, and Zoning Committee.
When are these going to meet?
The ones that have already set in place, I think, is
We have
sanitation and sewer. Electric, water, electric utility and water are already meeting. Ron.
Yeah, we're gonna put them in place here, and then we're gonna schedule a date and time for like the finance committee. You said we already have the electric, sanitation, sewer. The one that was taken off of here was the recreation committee. We had voted last year, I believe it was November. We actually have a recreation board that is established by ordinance.
Right.
So we are going to use that versus.
To maintain that as a board versus.
That's what I recommended last.
So, yeah, that's what you recommended, so we're gonna appoint the 7 people for a recreation board, not the committee.
Right.
So we removed that from this item here.
Just to be clear, this is formalizing what was previously discussed at, I don't think it was last month, but the month prior.
Yeah.
So this is not necessarily a new action, this is formalizing that, and to that end, I would suggest in any motion approving this to reference those appointments made, and incorporate those by reference here.
So these are gonna be publicly advertised committee meetings?
Yeah, all meetings, of any committee have to be publicly advertised as required.
Because
Previously,
right now we
formalized
have,
this
what, we have
resolution.
sanitation and sewer, and we have what, electric utility meetings?
Yes.
And we're putting together the finance committee, which I have a motion here, well, I guess we need to put these in place first.
Yes, I would say so. But to section 3, the membership and appointment, that stuck out to me whenever I was reviewing this. I don't necessarily think that borough council should be appointing committee chairs. I think
No,
that should be
right.
up to the committees
To the
themselves
committee
to
themselves,
establish.
yes.
So I would recommend striking that part. But this also doesn't necessarily guarantee that they're gonna meet on a fixed monthly schedule. They'll meet as advertised.
Yes.
Who's gonna do all this advertising?
That's borough costs.
Would be the borough office.
Oh, they'll have to be advertised in the paper, they can't just go on the website.
It's a requirement of Sunshine Act to be advertised in the newspaper, so it is costly to advertise.
And we
So
don't-
is it
and like I said,
recommended that the committees come up with one, like a whole year's worth of their, we're gonna.
Typically, that's what's done in January, is that everything just gets.
It's posted at once with all the
That's
dates.
7, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, revise. What's already been posted, with the exception for those that are posted.
Yeah, we would have to advertise what happened.
What has been posted and do it as a one-time for the remainder of the calendar year. Correct?
Well, which ones wouldn't be advertised?
Finance, sanitation, electric.
Finance isn't been advertised yet.
Huh?
Finance has not been advertised yet.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, finance is the one that has to be advertised.
So the ones that would need to be advertised would be buildings and grounds, emergency management, finance, planning, streets, and zoning. That would be on top of what was already posted, to include borough meetings. So as a one-time posting for the remainder of the year,
Right,
at which point next year, we'll cover all
right.
Do we just wanna delay this until we redo things in January and post all of this stuff together, so it's all?
No, because we want to move forward with the finance committee. I'd like to make a motion to advertise for the finance committee to be held on the last Wednesday of the month at 6:30. And they will be as needed, monthly, bi-monthly.
Who's part of that committee?
We appointed a couple people. Elsa, I believe, was looking in to see if she could be on the committee.
I can be,
Huh?
I can be.
Elsa was gonna be on the committee, I believe it was Stacy, Dan,
Peter.
me, was it Pete, or no, it was Bill?
Bill.
Either Bill or Peter.
So it was what,
Bill.
1, 2, 3, 4,
1, 4, 5.
7 of us? So how do we make this motion here?
So it seems like there are a couple edits here, and I would just note that there's a couple of elements not captured captured, like, for example, in section 3, it talks about members, number of members shall be established by borough council. I don't think that's been affixed today, we just appointed people to them, not necessarily a max number. And the question of the advertisements needed, maybe it would be best to provide an edited or revised resolution for approving.
All right, we can do this to pending changes and corrections. It's a resolution, it'd be a different story, but it's an ordinance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can always adopt resolutions at any point and amend them, so you could move forward with adopting this and then provide an amended version next meeting. I'm just saying for a point of clarity, not wanting to confuse anything.
So the only importance of it being done tonight, Ron, is so that you can advertise finance. So maybe what we can do is put off the resolution. Oh, no, we gotta establish it first. Never mind.
Yeah, it has to be established and then it has to be advertised.
If there's a pressing need to hold a committee meeting, what I would recommend is to adopt the resolution and approve a motion to advertise the meeting in question.
With an understanding that there will be
a revised version at the next meeting.
All right, motion on the floor to approve resolution number 2026 dash, whatever that number is going to be.
What's the number gonna be?
No.
9. With the understanding to advertise the said date, what was the date again, Ron?
It will be the last Wednesday of the month at 6:30 p.m.
However, to also advertise said committees that are not already advertised as such. That specifically being buildings and grounds, emergency management, finance committee, planning committee, streets and highways, and zoning committee. Pending revisions to said resolution to be set forth at the next month's meeting.
No, I think that you just wanted to approve this resolution and approve all necessary advertisements
Correct.
for the upcoming finance meeting.
Yes. Motion on the floor.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
So you'll advertise it, advertise.
Carries.
It will be for the last Wednesday of the month.
Okay. Council has a copy of the treasurer's report. Do I have a motion on the floor to accept the treasurer's report?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Presentation of bills, council has a copy of that. Motion to pay the bills?
Maybe motion to pay the bill.
Second, all those in favor? All right, we're gonna open the floor one last time. Hail Mary's, citizens' remarks. Anybody on the residents would like to speak? All right, we're gonna go around the table. Peter?
I just want to make note again that the police department is putting some extra hours into doing speed enforcement in town. They were once again today in front of the pizza shop running speed trap. I counted 6 times that the officer lit his lights up and went after somebody. So you might want to just be aware and be mindful of your speed when you go up and down York Street and then down on the Clyde Road, because they're getting serious about enforcing the speed.
I couldn't tell you how many they get going through the stop sign up at Big Sky and Shelley.
Bill?
That's a turn on the right with no stop sign.
I have nothing.
Okay, Will?
Did we find somebody, I saw that the resignation of Jeffrey Strayer from being one of our meter readers, was in our packet. Did we find somebody to replace him, or?
Josh Lucas is.
He's gonna take it all.
Yeah.
That's the guy that was here,
Yeah.
he had a big problem, because, yeah, 'cause something happened with his pay, yeah, same guy.
How are you making out with the Norfolk Southern polls?
Oh, that's right. I had to email them. I did meet with, a gentleman that came down, I was actually surprised that he came down. I'm gonna have to email them back to see if there's an update, because they don't really say much. But I did tell them about the line that's hanging over Water Street. And I also had, Mike Dubs come down there with me and confirm that's nothing electrical and that is in fact a railroad line. Norfolk Southern did have pictures of the whole line going up the tracks. I let them know that all that needs to be removed because there's debris hanging from it, the poles are rotting. So hopefully we'll make some more headway with that. Or they'll just pop in and remove everything.
Just so we know, that pole on Water Street is broken off of its base. The only thing that's holding that pole up from falling down is it is leaning against the tree and the guy wire that's attached to it.
Okay.
That's all.
Did you say you have a direct phone number?
I do, yes, yes.
Okay.
And I can get that to you.
Okay.
He's the line manager for this area.
All right.
I'll get that to you.
Because that needs addressed right away. And
Yeah.
it's nothing that we should be using, because
Yeah.
it's the railroad,
Yeah.
so.
Ron, do you have anything?
For the finance committee, we will meet this month just to appoint like the chair and stuff like that.
Stacy?
Just like to say, she said she'll help me get
Transition.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'm gonna close out with one announcement. The end of the month, we have the air show. Stillhouse and Borough is going to shut down, no through traffic unless you have residency down over across the tracks. down here, yeah. Last year, we had problems with cars traveling up along the railroad tracks. And, that was kind of freaky, but, other than that, I have nothing. Do I have a motion on the floor for adjournment?
I make that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.